What is up? Pratt here, and today I'm hitting you guys with another Supra video. Last week we did the roof. This week we're going to finish buttoning up the small stuff. Now, when I was doing the roof, if you guys missed the video, you gotta check it out. It turned out really, really well. But when I was repairing the roof, in between things, I was actually putting the car together. Like my door handle, my door latch works. I put some of the interior trim back together, which I just had to take off. So we're gonna stay on it because we only have a little bit of time left until this thing gets shipped off to my buddy's shop. Right now, I took off the rear bumper, prepped it out. I cannot take that color difference that's on there, so I'm gonna get that taken care of right now. So we're gonna spray this. So while I'm doing all this, I'm gonna run all the past footage to get you caught up on everything that I did to this car. While it's drying, we got some extra stuff to do to the Supra. Some kind of cool stuff too. We're going to finish up the interior. We're going to put some brackets on the front bumper. We're really going to finish putting this car together, believe it or not, now. All right, we have, as you can see, some interior parts here. I just want to go over all of them. It's really cool. And I definitely want to give a shout out to the people that have helped me out with all this, because this stuff did not cost much, if anything at all, and I just want to explain it all. Got a package here. I don't want to show the address, but this guy was a viewer watching my videos. His name is Larry Miraglia. He ended up sending me some parts out of nowhere, contacting me on Instagram. Straight up, I gave him my address and he shipped them to me. I can't believe it. Let's open it real quick. This guy has a wicked Supra 2 drag pack. Looks like it's going to be really fast. And he sent me, what a professional packaging job. He sent me some amber lights for my front bumper. These are the older specs, the smaller ones, but I will take anything. And right now, if I take these, I tint them black, I think they'll look really, really good. If we want to go out here and look at the car, I have, if you guys remember, I lost a newer version of it. Like, I have one, but I don't have the other. But then I started looking at this bumper, and then that Supra came in, and I realized that I liked how they tuck back. The older ones tuck back a little bit. I just think if I tint it and maybe put like an LED blinker in there or something like that, it'll look kind of more hidden, you know? So I'm kind of liking the older look. So I was really excited that he just happened to have an extra set and mailed them to me. Like, it's really cool. I'll say it a million times, this Supra community is completely different. Another couple parts to look at was a big need, come in handy, was from my buddy Kyle in Virginia. And I took a ride down to his house. He actually took a ride up to me first, and I painted some side skirts for him. And he gave me target top hardware, which is gonna come in handy. And one of the most important things that he gave me is, you guys know, a passenger side door latch. You guys remember in my last video I had to cut this sucker open inside of the car. Somehow he had one. Now Kyle is a veteran to the Supra game, and he's in the military. He was actually stationed in Okinawa, and he had a couple Supras, and he took the best of all of them and took all the parts and took them back home. So he's got a ton of rare parts that, like this, you think you can't find anywhere else. He is the guy to hit up. I'll put a tag at his Instagram at the bottom of the screen. But yeah, he had buckets of parts. He also gave me this rear piece. You know, this is the trunk piece. And that is a piece that I needed big time that I didn't have. So, oh, and another thing he gave me, which is insanely awesome, is he gave me a coin. This thing is really, really cool. If you guys are in the military or know about military, a lot of these guys travel overseas. They will achieve stuff and they get these coins. I know this because I had a lot of friends that are in the military also. Well, this is his Okinawa Supra Club coin, which is really, really cool. And you know what? I guess I get a Supra coin now that I've actually achieved and got a Supra. You know, so I'm pretty stoked about this. In fact, this is gonna go in my car and it's never gonna come out. I just think it's really, really cool that he hooked me up with this. We're gonna pop that sucker right in there. So a big thanks to Kyle again. We got future plans for his Supra. He's talking about wanting to get a paint job and everything like that, and you best believe I'm gonna hook him up. Okay, so some of the coolest parts here. We got this rear seat, and guess what? It doesn't have a blue racing stripe, which is awesome. Now, the upper seat is kind of destroyed. This is like a better view, but you can see it's kind of beat up at the top, which is okay because I'm gonna take my other seats and I'm gonna get them reupholstered so I can put in that orange stitch and everything to match the front seats. So this is gonna do fine just chilling in the back right now, so at least I have seats. So, and like I said, these were pretty much given to me. I'm doing a little bit of work on another friend's Supra. Kurt, I'll put a tag at the bottom of his. He has a Supra and he got some interior work done on his and he didn't need the back seats anymore. And he said, Matt, come on, grab them. Now I'll tell you this, Kurt has given me a ton of parts before. My tail lights, a couple interior pieces and so on. So, all right, well, hold on. We got a couple other little things. We have some bracketry for the bumper. This goes onto the rear bumper. So that will help line up the rear bumper. And then these suckers, they go on the front bumper. And I guess some 10 millimeters go on there and they will really clamp the bumper to the fender. As you can see, I've just been hanging loose for so long. And then maybe when I get that part lined up, I can start lining up everything else. Because as you know, I've just really thrown this car together real quick just to get it together. And I really need to go over every single detail, line up every single part and so on. So once again, a big thanks to the Supra community to really helping me out. And I hope that I'm paying you guys back by just saving another anthracite Supra. So, all right, let's get to work and put some of this stuff on. All right, first thing we're gonna tackle is we're gonna rip this door panel off and we're gonna put this in and let's hope that it works. We are in there like somewhere. Now, see what happens here. All right, it opens. Now, before we put this door panel on, let's give it one more little test. Shuts and opens. All right, cool. Finally, functioning door. All right, not gonna do that anymore because it might not open again. All right, let's bust this door panel back out and jump onto something else. All right, one last test. All right, that works. Locked. Okay, locks don't work. Don't tell nobody. We'll work on that later. Helping me out today. All right, that is definitely kind of ugly. It looks a lot better. Like I said, it's just a temporary fix for now. I'm gonna get that other upper rear seat reupholstered and they're gonna take out that blue stripe. So I'll just have to deal for a little bit. All right. Ugh. All right, yesterday I finished off here, put in that back seat, and then I went to dinner. I came back and I came back rushing. Actually, it was raining outside and I didn't even have the roof on this thing, so I hurried up and threw that thing on there. But what I want to finish doing is putting back together this interior trim and showing you the extra interior trim pieces that I got. I was talking with a buddy of mine, Jason Miller, and we're actually going to go back and probably throw this seat back in it. We're just going to dye this center. I didn't even think about it, but this guy's like a pro with interiors, and he said real quick you can just tape that up and shoot it, and it will look a lot better than how busted this stuff looks. So, and then this will be the set of seats that I'll later get reupholstered to match the front seats. But for now, I think I can deal with a little dye job. It's the back seats, you don't really notice it. And honestly, if you've seen all the room in a Supra, I don't think anyone's gonna be sitting back there. All right, let's pick up where we left off and get started with finishing up the inside of this rear trunk area interior. Alright, so I got the side panels in, got that one in. Yes, they came this ugly tan color, and I did spray it with oven paint because that's the only satin black that I had floating around. I don't care. It actually matches like pretty good because I painted both of these corner pieces. The next piece I got to put in there is this piece, which is the rear trunk area. The only part that sucks is I put this big huge battery box in there and don't know if it's going to fit completely with it or it's going to be a tight squeeze. So thing is when I put this battery box in here, a ton of people has hit me up and told me about smaller battery boxes, of course, afterwards. So I'm not opposed to taking it out. It just sucks that I just put it in there. So we're going to see how this fits. I'm just kidding, I placed that box perfectly in there just to barely fit. I got lucky. All right, so we got really lucky that that just squeaks in there. Of course, if I were to put maybe the cover on there for the taillight, maybe that would hit. But one thing I didn't plan for was screws. I didn't realize how many screws this car takes. I mean, I'm missing one there, but I got a few in there. There's like a few in the side here, and like I said, I've only been putting them where I need them just to get the panels on there, and I still need 4 more for the top. So they definitely did a good job of mounting all this stuff. Now I got to get some screws. So, but this rear trunk area looks pretty good to me. I still would like to get some panels back here. I don't know what goes back there. I'd have to look at my buddy's cars. Jason Miller was talking to me about he's got a template to put a big piece of carpet back here, and it will literally cover all of this, which will look really, really clean. So definitely looking at getting all that stuff too. Right now it looks pretty complete. I'm pretty happy with it. All right, so I got this can of vinyl spray paint and what the hell, we're gonna paint this blue stripe. Why not I just tape this thing up, scuff it down, I don't even know what to do, clean it, shoot it. It's a back seat, no one else sits back there. Maybe if I do this satin finish, it'll blend in pretty good, right? What do I got to lose? I'm very impatient when it comes to cheesy stuff. Oh my god, that does not look that bad. I'm not an interior guy, I've never done stuff like this before. Now that was a satisfying little fix. It gave me a shiny black racing stripe, but I mean, that looks a lot better than the old seat, and that looks a lot better than blue. All right, so I just ripped the rear bumper off. As you can see, I couldn't take that color match, and the color match turned out so well on the roof. I'm going to use the same batch of color that I used on the roof on the rear bumper and see if it helps it out a little bit. While I'm painting the rear bumper, I'm actually going to shoot these. These are the corner lights that a friend of mine gave me. And what happens is I kind of prefer them better. As you can see, they kind of sit a little bit deeper in the car. They'll actually look like that. But they're too bright of an orange for me. I like how deep they sit in there, but I just can't have them so bright and orange. So I'm gonna mix up a tinted clear. I'm gonna put a little bit of black in the clear, and I'm gonna see if I can darken those up while I'm painting that. So in the meantime, we got this bumper and everything off because I'm gonna finally install the factory hardware, or at least as much as I have for it. So I picked up these from Toyota. They're brackets that go in here like that. That's gonna help fasten the bumper to there. I'm gonna put those, and I actually have some plastic that goes in the wheel well here that helps connect the bumper together that way too. So really can't wait to have this bumper actually on here for real. My hood adjusted probably as good as it's gonna get. You can see it's level with the fender now. A lot of adjustment there. The headlight is still not sitting perfect, but it's sitting good enough for now. My gap up here is still pretty wide. It's even on both sides, which is good. I am just gonna have to deal with. This is kind of like what you have to deal with when you get a Supra this cheap and you only have so much money to put into it. So I'm happy with it. I'm gonna drive the hell out of this thing, so it's not gonna be perfect. That was a gross mess. Everything under here. I took the cowl off just because I just want to spray it, you know, while, you know, I'm taking everything else off. That thing was hideous. You can see it has been through some stuff. That was satisfying. Repainted the grill, or repainted the cowl, repainted the wiper. It goes a long way, and I even scraped all the overspray off of my windshield, so it's nice and clear. Man, it looks so much better. All right, I think it's time we start messing with this front bumper. Let's see what these marker lights are gonna look like. Okay, so let's see what one of these will do. I think they look a lot better, a little darker. And they'll sit in here a little deeper too, which is good. Yeah, see, that don't look too bad. All right, let me zip some screws up on this. And I stuck these on too. I think that's the way they go. I just put like a little screw here, and it looks like it's holding in there pretty well. Just hope I got some 10 millimeters to hold on there. So, all right, let's get these things zipped on. that looks pretty good. This gap's pretty, I'm happy with. These are a little bit bigger. I think a seal goes up here. I gotta double check. But I mean, I live with them. Like I said, thing is never gonna be perfect, but that is definitely a good looking car. Alright, moment of truth. I'm going to wipe this down and then I'm going to grab the bumper and just sit it on there just to, I don't know, just to see if this color is off or not. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, this looks a lot better. So. As you can see, that color matches as good as it's gonna get. Yeah, you can see it might make a little change just because of the angle, but for the most part, it looks a lot better. All right, so I got these Oem brackets that just kind of fitted up here just to see what it looked like. It looks like that's how it's gonna go. I just gotta figure out how they want to attach this to the rear bumper. Got that hardware sorta mounted on there. It doesn't fit the best, obviously, because this is a fiberglass bumper, but it fits. So at least I'll be able to snug up, you know, the bumper flush now. So it even has this tab down here that goes to this hole all the way down here, which is awesome. It's definitely gonna fasten itself on way better than it was. So, all right, let's get this on. Bumper fits pretty good. I'm happy with it. Sticks out a little bit at the top. I mean, that's not an OEM bumper. It's an aftermarket bumper, you know? So you guys got to remember all the work we did to make this side fit. If you haven't seen the video, go check it out. But this is a fiberglass bumper that I got from Europe. A company in Europe makes an OEM style fiberglass bumper, and it was in a couple inches too wide. I had to cut this whole corner off and shorten it and get it to fit. And it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It looks better than most OEM bumpers. So. And I was so excited. Finally have actual bolts that screwed in there and mounted it and got in the gap like super consistent. And the bottoms never fit perfect. They were always a little out and a little in, but now the bolt down there crunches it together and bam, it's solid. So happy. There she is, somewhat complete. We got our bumper fitted up. We got our body lines looking really good. We got our door working. Speaking of the door working, we got the interior looking really good. With our back seat holding other parts, this stuff should be up here. But with our back seat looking really, really good. Rear bumper fitted up, matching. We got some of our interior trim in there. Don't mind all them boxes. Still storing all my parts in there. So what is left? Well, there's a lot left. There's always stuff left. But the next step is to get it running. I gotta get it running. I got it running a couple episodes ago. If you guys haven't seen it, look for that video. And it hasn't ran since. Now I have taken pretty much everything under the engine bay apart to paint it. Probably don't have stuff plugged in, I'm sure it needs an oil change, new plugs, coolant, all that stuff like freshened up, but we've tried to start it and it doesn't start. It only started at one time in that episode for like 2 hours and then that was it. So I'm sure it's something real stupid. I gotta wait for the head to come back. Once the head comes back from the machine shop, then I can take it up to Freed Engineering and we can get all the turbo work. We've gotten the ECU, we've gotten the wiring harness. I just ordered my intake manifold. Everything's there. We're just waiting on the most important part, the head. I'm sure there's gonna be a couple more episodes where we're finally able to actually drive it, you know? So I have to jump off here. I have to go edit this video. The cool thing is about getting the Supra to this point, I can start other projects like you see in the background. I got a 2020 Supra, I got a Corvette, I got a Samurai back there. I still got to get my Jeep going. I have another car in the car trailer. Don't worry, I'm going to be on YouTube for a good minute. Which reminds me, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of these future projects. Also, like, comment, share, get my channel out there. It's growing. I love the growth that I have. Let's keep it that way. I'll see y'all later. See you next video. Go work on something.